Boom. All right. We are live and in living color. Welcome to Marketing Qualified Rundown. I'm Nick, and the Swedish fish is swimming. So today we have the illustrious Mr. Chris Lee. For those of you who watched a couple weeks ago, Chris Lee was actually on with the Swedish fish and kicking butt, taking names, and sharing good marketing insight. So
it broke the internet.
You broke the internet. You did break the internet. Yes, you did great. It went viral. All right, we've got two topics today to talk about. And from the Marketing Qualified Rundown, we have the backlink strategy that no one talks about. Almost no one except us. And then we've got some website tips that we think are pretty relevant to maybe, helping your business out. So let's jump right into it. 3 website tips that are relevant.
No, backlinks first.
Backlinks. Backlinks first. Backlinks first. See, it's throwing me off. Yeah, backlinks first. Okay, so we know what backlinks are, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what a backlink is.
Okay. So one of the ways that I think that isn't talked about recently is how to get backlinks other than the traditional way. So our other options are really how to publish proprietary data. So, I mean, we see data all the time, right? How many reports have you seen published recently, like state of marketing, state of social media, things like that?
Yeah, I think first off, backlinks is a strategy that people use for SEO, right? And I'll be the first to say I absolutely hate SEO. It's just it's so annoying, and to deliver it as a service, it's become extremely specialized. And if traditionally the way backlinks were done is you would work with backlink providers and buy backlinks, right? And we've done this before. That's kind of the one way of doing it. You'd buy backlinks for $100 to $500 to thousands of bucks or whatever it is, and you get one backlink. A lot of times the domain authorities are just kind of okay. The websites are okay, but you need to do a lot of that, a lot of that to make that work. And the second way that it's more of like an underground world of exchanging backlinks. And you work with other publishers and other people, and you say, hey, I'll link to you, you link to me, and we'll shake hands, and that's it. And that tends to be a little bit of an underground world. I've seen people have a lot of success in doing that, but it's quite a bit of work, right? Now, the strategy that Nick is talking about is more about producing stuff and putting it on your website, right?
Exactly. So as an example, there's people that like HubSpot, Hootsuite, Entrepreneur that all are looking for content. So these are just examples of the bottom there is from HubSpot, state of marketing, social trends, state of video. They're searching for content. So if you produce content that they can use and they can backlink to you, it's a hack to get traffic because obviously these guys have a pretty good following.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are talking about how SEO is going to be dead in this kind of next revolution of AI and everything. But if you talk to the experts, and when we get into some pretty heavy duty projects like this, we tend to use some outsourced experts, and this is what they've been telling us. And they've been telling this from day one. At the end of the day, if you put out good content, or if you put out good shit, then Google's going to like that, and Google's going to rank it. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. You put out really good content in the form of a report, a research report, a survey, findings, or something like that, and Google's going to like it. If Google likes it, other people are going to like it also. And when other people like it, they're going to reference back to your report, right? And like we write tons of research reports around here. For our clients around all sorts of various topics. And I can tell you that in each of them, we're referencing somebody else also all the time, right?
For sure. All right. So that's the hack for backlinking. So let's jump now to website tips. So what are some website tips to help engagement, right? Think about things to do to help engagement on site. So one potential option of the three is to delay your chatbot. So I know I personally have seen so many people have chatbots, AI chatbots all over their screens. It's kind of annoying, actually.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go away.
I hate them. And I also hate the people that, regardless of where you navigate on their page, it pops up every time and it makes it ding on your computer.
It's
It's
distracting, right?
super annoying. Now, I would say that if your website is meant to drive sales and you got a shit ton of traffic coming to your website, then yeah, I would maybe look at this a little bit differently. But for the majority of people that we work with and the people that watch this or read our newsletter, yeah, I would definitely take a look at, when to use that.
Yep. All right. Tip number one. Tip number two, include a support email on error messages. So I know we do a lot of form fills for clients, for ourselves, and a lot of times they have a lot of required fields, and sometimes they get error messages. So, and then it can be very frustrating, especially if you're ordering something, you're trying to get something, you're trying to download something, you keep getting errors. So one way to help do this is provide a support email when you do this. So then the person, they really want to contact you, they can email you and not just keep hitting error and just be pissed off, which is annoying.
Yeah, I got no comments on that. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, and whoever you're using to maintain your website should be a best practice.
For sure. All right. Last tip, navigation. I think this is kind of a heated one, I think. One option is to remove navigation from landing pages because it prevents visitors from wandering. Chris just talked about earlier about that distracting chatbots. The same can be true for navigation. So as an example, on the left, if you have a website that's got tons of ways to all the little blue dots to click, you've got buttons, you got all these things. You have the attention span of a squirrel, you're just going to miss it. Versus on the right side, one thing.
Yeah, I think the removing the navigation is kind of like putting an annoying salesperson in front of a prospect. They just won't take no for an answer. Now, if you put the navigation onto the website, you're allowing someone to kind of navigate where they want to go. So I would think from most people here say, well, I love it when I see navigation on a website, right? As a user or as a buyer, I love it when I see navigation because I can go find stuff. But as a person who's trying to drive a sale, or in this case, most likely a lead, we don't want them to go anywhere until they fill out the form. That's the only thing we care about, right? Fill out that form, download that asset, request that demo. That's all we care about. So that's why we recommend removing that navigation. And to think about it is when someone cold calls you and just won't take no for an answer.
All right. So good tips for improving your website and especially for conversion pages. All right. So before we get to the meme of the week, one thing I think we want to talk about the LinkedIn, some new stuff coming out from LinkedIn.
Yeah, so we have this section in this week's newsletter, in the news this week. But one thing I kind of wanted to point out, which it's a little early for us to talk about it, but I think everyone should check it out. LinkedIn is launching their premium company pages, right? And I think the rollout is starting now or July. I'm not exactly sure what the timing of it is. We'll definitely do a full newsletter on it. But I think that for us B2B people, it's going to be, there should be some interesting stuff inside of that.
Yeah, I think, obviously LinkedIn is trying to work the same angle as every other app, right? Trying to add more value to the audience to make it more effective for both marketers and non-marketers. So, all right, on to my favorite part, the meme of the week. Marketers trying to write their first line of copy, always difficult.
I think this is old now, right? Did ChatGPT solve this problem for a lot of us?
It definitely helps. It helps get you going. So maybe we take off a few of the weights to make it a little easier on ourselves.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that is it for this week's Marketing Qualified Rundown. Don't forget to subscribe at marketingqualified.co. Thank you, Chris, for joining, and we will see everybody here next week.
Thank you.